If you're a small business owner and you kind of geek out about some of the minutia of the nonsense, then this is the right place for you. Today, we're going to be talking about managing change, copyrighted assets, taxes, not my favorite topic, so you'll see me fumble with that. Office versus remote working with employees. Also, what else? My favorite topic is marketing ideas. So welcome to the Tarot Said So. And this channel, Simple Sense for Small Business, is about mistakes we make in business. Mistakes we've seen, we've made, we've fixed for clients, for ourselves. And so we have taken those mistakes and we have compiled them, collated them for our Biz Glitch 366 project that we launched in 2022. So let's get started. First, if you're new here, my name is Linda Ray. I have owned and managed financial services businesses and decided as I grow into my older years, aka wiser years, I thought I would do something that's a little bit more fun with my experience and also something that is a little bit more on the intuition side versus the intellect side. Because sometimes we got to get out of our head and we have to be in our heart and our soul and intuit our way through these mistakes and everyday business operation type tasks. If you are not new here and you are back watching one of these shows, thank you so much for coming back. Really appreciate it. We are addressing today glitches number 167 through 173. So 167 to 173, which represents June 15th through June 21st. Now, if you want to know a little bit more about the Biz Glitch project, there is a link in the description, but suffice it to say that it is a mistake of the day type membership program. It is a paid type service, and I just decided to merge and meld these two disciplines, if you will, together for this channel. A little housekeeping. This is for entertainment purposes only. As you know, this is not a science. It is more of an art and interpretation. It is open to interpretation. And speaking of open to interpretation, we do have merch for that too. So there'll be a link in the description for that as well. I'm using the Tarot Said So deck. And this is a tarot deck dedicated for business operations and business owners. So the suits, as you know them, if you are familiar with tarot at all, the wands are products, the swords is data, cups is brand, and pentacles is money. So that is an easy translation. And they're all just very suitable, pun intended. All right, so let's get started on our first glitch today. June 15th, 167. Did you overpay FICA taxes for your employees? Now, see, this is what I'm talking about. This is not my favorite topic. This, to me, is just such a big, fat yawn. But we cannot ignore some of the vital aspects of our business. So I am addressed. That's why there's 366 mistakes, because there are things we don't like to do. There are things we're not good at, but we still must address them in some form or fashion. So let's take a look at the cards. And I love how these cards shuffle, by the way. Okay. I'm going to clear and saged, shuffled. All right. Did you overpay FICA taxes for your employees? I'm not even going to do yes or no, because some who are watching may and some may not. And if there's a yes card, that just means yes, you're doing it, or yes, you should do it. And if it's a no card, I don't even know what to make of that. No, don't ignore it. So I'm just going to go right into the why should you do that? Why should you pay attention to something like that? Especially because it's such a specialized skill and it's such a niche. If you don't even have employees, it doesn't really matter, right? But if you do, so, what is FICA? Federal insurance contribution Act, I think is what it is. And it's to help employees save for their retirement by way of Social Security, disability Social Security, and something else that I don't remember. But see, now this is my cue to remind you that the Biz Glitch 366 project, you get a mistake of the day via an email, and it has why this glitch is a glitch. Why did it make the roster? Actionable items, goals. It has some resources for you to refer to. And also we do have videos. We have full version videos that are for paid Biz Glitch gurus only. And in the description for the glitch, there'll be the link to the video we did last year for this. If you are not a glitch guru, it'll be a short or an abridged version of the video. Okay, I thought I was done with housekeeping, but evidently there was some more. Okay, so why is this so important for your business to not ignore? Why is this important for your business? So let's take a look. 3-card spread: situation, action, outcome. So the situation is designers. That's the magician. In the major arcana, you have skills in all areas of your business. So that is why this card has all the suits. It has the heart for brand. It has the product, which is the wands. It has the data for swords, and money, pentacles, material success and wealth and financial success. So the magician is your bringing all of that expertise together. You have the skills, you have the knowledge to know that this is really important, to take a peek at it, especially if you have a payroll company and you're not really sure. We've seen this is why this is in here, because we've seen payroll companies that are really complacent and aren't paying attention after a certain period of time. They just think everything is on autopilot, and it's not. And it's your job to make sure that you're managing also those professionals that you have sought assistance from, and for their elevated expertise. Okay, so the action is another major arcana card. This is the Star, strategic planning. This is what I think when I see these two cards together, because the designers are assisting you with a holistic view of your business. Strategic planning, which is the Star, this will shed light onto other aspects of your business, which is why this is all connected. Your business is all connected, and you, with all your skills and expertise and knowledge, are connected. This could lead to you finding out something else about your business that you didn't even know about. All right, so let's see what the outcome will be. 6 of Swords. This card represents moving away from the worry of getting to it, that procrastination tendency that could come into something like this. And I'm also potentially projecting with these. This may resonate with you, this may not. That's why there's 7 of them. But this could mean you're able to put this away for a while because you have addressed it. And you don't have to think about it because there are people that are helping you with it, and that you've addressed that there's no oversights that could potentially happen because you haven't paid attention to it. So I love that for us. Okay. Next is 168 for June 16th. All right, here. This is a marketing type task that I think is again a little it could be something that is of interest to you, and it could not. It could be something that applies, and it could not. But here it is. 168 June 16th. Are your images on your website copyright protected? So this is more important than ever, because if you use stock images, then how are you using them? You can't just take screenshot from a website or from a Google search with images. You can't do that. And you also have to be super, selective when you're using AI with your images, because there's been some issues with AI picking up other people's work. So if you're an artist, you absolutely want to make sure that your images are protected as well. from AI and from other people using that from your website. And also you want to make sure whatever you are using, if you're not an artist or a creator in that capacity, that you have checked, double checked, triple checked that your sources and your assets that you're utilizing are free and clear with using them correctly. I'll give you a quick example. With these videos, sometimes I use music, maybe not this particular series, but other videos we use on 2 other channels. We use music, and YouTube will flag if that particular clip is like they think I'm using it incorrectly, illegally. And I have to tell them I have a license with a paid subscription with a company that allows me to use these types of music. So there are ways that you can be protected, but there are also ways you can get in trouble if you are not making sure you're free and clear. So are your images, how are you going about checking that the copywriting of your assets are legit? Okay. How are you going about using copyright protected assets for your marketing on your website? So the situation is the 10 of money, the 10 of pentacles. 10 is a completion. From aces to 10 is completion. You have a lot of success that have happened. This happens to also be a legacy card, family inheritance and all of that, but your business is successful enough that this is not something you want to risk. You want to make sure that you are honoring the work of other people if you have to use other artists, their work, or AI to generate images. Canva has lots of ways to use images as well. So that is a proper use of going through how do you want to employ this strategy for branding in your marketing and on your website. So abundance here with the 10 of pentacles. And then you have the 5 of data. This is, this guy looks really happy, but it's because he is okay with winning at all costs. These people are just done with all that he is acquired here through however means. And that could be the action if you're not paying attention to what you're doing, or if you're not overseeing somebody who may be doing this for you. This could come into a problem. This could be this is a conflict card. 5 is a conflict number. So you want to make sure that you're paying attention and delegating this accordingly. And then the outcome card is bankruptcy, is the Hanged Man in the major arcana. This is take a pause on how you're executing this. Even though you have resources, you have an abundance of resources, success, and financial resources, but you don't want to mess around with something like this. You don't want to think nobody is watching the copyrighted images for assets on your website. Okay, so bankruptcy is it's an extremely negative word, but really the in the major arcana, the traditional deck, it's take a pause. There is nothing that needs to be rushed through. And for me, with this deck, why with bankruptcy, is if you ignore that advice or you ignore that strategy, the outcome, the repercussions could be so extreme, as in bankruptcy being a business's worst fate. Okay, so let's see. Cards are right side up. Next is 169, June 17th. This is in the remote or office series of glitches that we have. This one happens to be on its own, but it says, do your employees have an easy commute? And this is what I was saying about you may not have employees, but the reason this is in here is because I used to work with somebody who really, really believed, and if they didn't believe it, they were lying about this belief that someone should, that the business was only going to hire people that had a 15-minute commute. Okay. I thought that was kind of short-sighted, selfish, shallow. but that's just me, and I moved on from that. But COVID changed everything, right? So a lot of people were working remotely, and some businesses figured out, actually, that's not so bad. Maybe the employees are a little bit more productive. Maybe there's a higher morale because of the flexibility you're providing for them. So do your employees have an easy commute? Now, the other thing is these 3 questions have been yes or no questions. And again, I'll just reiterate, I was entertaining doing well, here you go. Marketing is on the bottom. Marketing is on the bottom. And this is the Empress card. First of all, this is a yes card to aid in that morale. It could be a positive thing, but the Empress card is a card of abundance. So ignoring what your employees are feeling has its own repercussions. And if you've ever had employees, you know how turnover can work, and you know how you're supposed to hire slow, fire fast. And instead, a lot of people hire fast because they waited too long to do it. Okay, but back to the question is, do your employees have an easy commute? How are you determining if employees should participate in the decision making about such a thing with in office versus remote? All right, so the situation is, I swear I shuffled. So here we have the marketing card, and the Empress is not only like a feminine energy, but it's also one of abundance and nurturing, and having the ability to communicate and connect with your employees to best understand how they'll do the best job for you in the business, and how their work will then lead to more productive results, because we also have merch that says results are the only thing worth talking about. I just love how captive audience, this is you and your business engaging with people in your business on how to make the best morale possible for the business. And the action is the 8 of Pentacles. See, now this is what the Apprentice card too, but it's also where you're building your business and your craft, working in the business is growing and it's been excelling. And so you're really focused on the growth. But if you ignore those that are contributing to your business, those that are assisting you in areas where it is not the best use of your time, this could, let's see, what's the outcome card? So here we go. Money Ace, the Ace of Pentacles. This is the card that says, yes, bringing them in to make sure that their ideas and their, spirit of working with you in your business, it will pay off based on the fact that you're bringing them into an important decision about the work environment and how you structure the organization with remote versus office. Is it one or the other, or is it a marriage of both? The flexibility of that. So again, we mentioned the 10 in the last spread. So this is the start where you're thinking about the ideas of what could be. And so anything is possible with that card. I love that for us. And I love that. That's my new saying now every time I finish the spread. All right, let's see. Next is, this is my favorite. Oh my gosh, this is my favorite. 170 is, now I'm already forgetting, June 15, 16, 17, 18. June 18th, and again, everything's in the description. June 18th, 170. This is my favorite topic. This is absolutely my favorite topic. How do you plan your marketing ideas? How do you plan your marketing ideas? Now, I'm not going to say anything that this is right after the marketing card, okay, which showed up at the bottom of the deck and then was at the top of the deck for the last reading. Some people might geek out on different types of topics. If you check out the Biz Glitch project, there's 21 major topics that we cover with the project. And marketing is one of them. And look what's at the bottom, another ace. Another ace. Aces are new, creative, beginnings, ideas, creation potential. So for those people that don't like marketing, that's a big fat yes that we should explore what that is. How do you plan your marketing ideas? 3-card spread, situation, action, outcome. Okay. Ooh, bankruptcy. In the situation. This is the Hanged Man. So what this tells me is that if this is the take a beat, slow down, take a pause before you blow in with all this action. All right. So the glitch is, how do you plan your marketing ideas? This is slow down. Maybe if you're doing it, time to refresh. If you're not doing it, time to figure out a system, right? A checklist of first things first. How do I go about it? You know, first time is always the hardest. The firsts are always the most challenging because it's sort of like when you're a baby and you're just starting to try to get up to start walking. There's a lot of bumps back on the bottom. And so you want to go about this in a methodical way, even if it's just planning the system and the schedule of how to go about it, or what resources you want to engage to make the most out of it. You want to do that methodically. That's what that tells me. Again, I know bankruptcy and the fire of the money looks bad, or in the boxes and all that, but this tells me to move forward intentionally and slowly and methodically. And again, if this is not your forte, then who do you know that could assist? All right, so this is a very interesting action. This very much complements the bankruptcy major arcana number 12. This is the 4 of brands. The brand 4 is the 4 of cups. The 4 of cups is a meditation, a contemplative state that you're in. To me, marketing and branding is the heart of a business, and yet sometimes the most overlooked. Everybody's doing things on transaction-oriented things, but the marketing and branding may go by the wayside, and businesses have ebb and flows. So, you know, there could be a downturn, and this is where the consistent marketing comes into play to stay fresh, to stay visible. This is also the card of apathy. So you're seeing these tumbling hearts here, but there's one big, beautiful heart that's ripe, ready to start beating for you in your business. I think this very much complements. Take a pause, approach this methodically, and really intentionally go slow with something like this, because it's so vast on the potential and the opportunities that could bring forth. So here we have a result. Let's see what that is. Okay, major arcana. This is the high priestess. Human resources is the high priestess. This is the collective wisdom in your business that you have. This shark is, first of all, like, they're on water here because the shark is diving into the water. So you have the ability to intellectualize, if you will, the process to be intentional. Now, I know I opened this with intuition versus intellect, how sometimes we have to feel our way through things. But there is overthinking, and then there's also the, again, methodical, intentional, systematized approach to making marketing a process for your business. And this is saying, you have the wisdom, you have the knowledge, you have the resources to do that and overcome all the challenges, that being the shark. So am I even showing these cards in the over below? There, that is the human resources card for this spread. To me, this says not to get too emotional about it versus bringing in the resources that you have to approach this methodically for your business. Okay, let's see. Next, let's make sure we shuffle. Next, what do we do? Okay, so 171 is the 19th. All right, this is a long one. So let me read this to you, and then we'll break it down into a smaller chunk. If your business had a downturn in revenue and you're on a payment plan for previous tax years, have you tried negotiating lower payment plans for any back taxes or any overdue taxes that are a little above the budget for getting those paid upfront? IRS is, they used to be extremely flexible with payment plans and offering compromise. Things are a little different this year, so I'm not really sure how that's working. But in your business, are you burying your head in the sand with debt, especially federal debt and taxes? Or are you trying to be very strategic in how you approach this, to know what your options are so that you can focus on the things in your business that make you money to be able to pay these bills? Or are you just avoiding it and thinking it's just going to go away if you just don't think about it? Because that's not a solid strategy we ever recommend. All right, so I think with this I want to say, are you addressing any debt or financial tax obligations? Are you addressing them to make sure that this is no longer a worry in your mind? Okay. And we definitely want to clear for this, because that is a big, big deal. All right. How are you addressing financial debt in your business? Situation is, how are you addressing financial obligations in your business, financial debt in your business? Okay, the brand manager is the Knight of Cups. What this means, again, brand is the heart and how your business is front facing to the public and consumers and customers and so on. Knights are of action, moving forward, striving for. And what this tells me, because hearts and cups are emotions and feelings, is this could be something, if you're addressing this could be something that would otherwise distract you if you don't take care of this. This could represent a person in your business that would help you overcome the otherwise emotional setback or emotional worry of not attending to this. So this is someone who can help you move forward with this and get this behind you so you can focus on things that are really profit worthy in your business and to be able to make more money to pay the bills. And then the action is reorganization. Okay. This is Major Arcana. Major Arcana number 13 is death. Now, this is the card of transformation. With the Knight of Cups and the action of doing something that will alleviate this worry, concern, this would transform how you operate in your business and how you approach your business every day, because you're going to get that behind you. And then the outcome is legal is 7. That's the Chariot, another Major Arcana. This is saying if you address this and you take care of this, this is going to keep you moving forward in the direction of success in your business. You have the knowledge in your business, but if you've accumulated some financial debt, or there's some back taxes or something like that, if you use your resources to overcome it and to transform your business into something that feels more worthy of your time and energy, then you will be on a path forward. I love that for us. Okay. Second to last is number 172 for June 20th. 172, June 20th. Do you find tracking metrics too cumbersome, too extreme, and a mere interference? I love that this is following a financial debt, tax debt obligation question, and also before that was the how do you plan marketing ideas. Again, having a project with 366 mistakes that covered 21 different topics. A link in description to review that. Sometimes these things are intertwined where there's something we love to do in the business, but then all of a sudden we're smacked with something we don't like doing in the business. And metrics, analytics, data, that is absolutely something that exists in the business as an aid with strategy. But some people don't like numbers, or some people, don't make the time, and there's no finding the time. You have to make the time. So are you doing reports monthly, quarterly, annually to assess what's working and what isn't working? Whether or not you find them cumbersome and extreme and a mere interference or inconvenient, that doesn't mean you're going to that it's going to go away. It doesn't mean that you won't have this as a resource to improve in areas that are languishing, or do away with something that is no longer working. Maybe you're putting so much energy and resources into something you're selling and it doesn't work because there's nothing happening with it. So let's take a look. How are we looking at metrics on a monthly, quarterly, annual basis? How are we looking at metrics to serve us versus be a mere inconvenience? All right, the situation is, okay, this is the 10 of Wands. Burden. It is overwhelm. This could be something that is of no interest to you, and so this is going to come out as not a priority to manage. 10 is also the number of completion and cycle of starting over. But as you see in this card, you've had so much success, but now you don't even know where you're going. You can't see through what you've already accomplished and accumulated. And so it could be too much work, perceived as too much work for you. But what does that mean exactly? Then what happens? Could this be on the cusp of a downturn? We've already talked about downturns and how that could affect financial obligations. So let's see where this goes. Action is the brand director. This is the Queen of Cups. The brand coming up in the business, reminding us that what is the heart of the business, and to keep that alive, giving oxygen to the things that work in your business. How do you know if they're working if you're not reviewing the metrics? And the queens are they're of a nurturing trait, or this could be somebody in your business that has the interest and the wherewithal to approach this type of tasks that has to happen, again, consistently each year on a monthly, quarterly, and annual basis. And so then the outcome is the 2 of Cups. This is you coming together with whoever. If there's somebody in your business, you're coming together with them to assist with reviewing those metrics together. So maybe you're not the one that has the system of getting the metrics out of the system and getting those reports to review, but you come together with that person that does help you with it. And again, if you're a one-person business or you only have a couple of employees that are dedicated to one facet of the business and not to reporting and metrics and budgeting and all of that, then that's where outsourcing, which is its own topic in the Biz Glitch project, that's where you focus on, well, who else can assist me in my business that takes some of this burden, right? The burden off of my plate so that my business can thrive on what's doing well in the business for that success. Awesome. Last one, 173 for June 21st. How do you manage change compared to last year after tracking year-over-year revenue and expenses? So this is, in coordination with the previous glitch, more metrics. In the last reading right here with this glitch, there was no swords, which is, swords is data. There was no data cards. So, sometimes the absence of something is not to focus on that as the thing, but the approach to the thing so that you can not ignore vital procedures in the business. All right. How do you manage change from year to year by the tracking of year-over-year revenue and expenses? The situation is human resources again. This is the high priestess. This is what data in your business will reveal what is that of super success in your business, and also will it reveal things in your business that maybe you're paying too much attention to and therefore distracting you from other things that are more profitable, and or gaining some extra time for the things that you have been putting by the wayside or that have been, not a focus because it's inconvenient or it's not fun or you don't feel strong in that skill set. All right, the action is 3 of wands, 3 of product. Product 3 is you've started with this business, you started with nothing, and here you are growing. What if you use the metrics to gain insight about what is working really well, what trends in your business or what products and services in your business are the most successful, and also what isn't the most successful, so that you can stop applying so much time and energy to that. This is also, the 3 of wands is also the overseas card. So how expansive could your business be? How much could you grow if you were paying attention to the data and the reporting and the budgeting in your business more than you are right now? And the outcome, the CEO, that is the Emperor. And the Emperor is one of authority and experience to be on the right track, to use your ability in your business with what you've already ascertained and things that have already happened, mistakes that have already happened. How can you leverage that for future growth? And there we have it. That was 7 glitches. That went by fast today, I have to say. I was very much kind of in love with every one of them. And I hope you were too. I hope you'll like and subscribe. Oh, I've already picked the success card. The success card is from if you watch the other 2 installments of this, and or if you've seen the short we have also on this, I have 101 cards, success cards. And I picked this one with the pendulum. to spare you of that. And I haven't even looked at it. So let's look at it together. Self-care. Ooh, this is a nice, this sums up very nicely, especially with these glitches. We talked about a lot of things that are not of a direct transactional situation in the business. Taxes, employees, marketing, metrics. These are all things that it takes energy and it takes your focus away from the transactional aspect of the business and more into the nuts and bolts of the business that not everybody sees, the behind the scenes of the business, that the consumers may not be a part of that directly with that transactional nature. But it's important for us to regroup and re-energize and reinvigorate ourselves to attend those things that aren't always easy. So what does this say here? Do you have as much enthusiasm now as when you started? Is your working pace sustainable? And if not, how can you make it be? And I'm putting the card up on the screen so you can see as well what it says. I mean, self-care, what you're ignoring in your business that needs attention for yourself so that you can, put that oxygen mask on first so that you can assist other people. And those other people are the employees that you may have, or the colleagues and associates that you outsource to, or the people that help you with marketing. You can't guide people that help you in your business, whether they're working directly for you or outsourced with you. You're not going to help them with the overall mission of your business if you are stuck. I hope that was helpful. I hope something resonated with you. Please leave a comment if there was one glitch in particular that you liked more, that spoke to you more so, or not. And please subscribe, please like, please check out the project at bizglitch366.com, and we'll see you in the next one.